we need a review, need to get a change to. Firstly, we maybe have see we have about 10 or 11 crops, major crops. We get it after survey, so we know what the most crops most interested. That's why we did something like maize, coffee, tea, cassava, and what else? That one. We have about 10 or 11 species. To see some annual crops like corn, this is a 1 year deal, and some many years, multiple years. So maybe we break it down into immature trees, like 1 to 3 years old, mature trees like 4 years above. So this is something we gotta group them together, and to see here is what time, what the number of your spray. Spray first time, second time, and maybe the last one. Average wise, we spray 3 to 5 times a year. Don't need more. We say spray twice every other week, 2 weeks. But that means it's in the critical growing season. We spray every other week or monthly. If some crop is very long, we don't need to spray every twice a month. We don't need to spray that much. We only spray, in the past we discussed the plant have the growing season, vegetative growing phase, and the reproductive phase. So we mostly spray at the vegetative phase. And then this is what time, the timing. So like 2 weeks after planting, I cannot say like January, March, or May because everywhere is different. So we count the time by your plants, the growing condition. So after planting 2 weeks, or you already planted the last year. So the beginning of the growing season, if it's dry season, we may don't count. We count it in the start rainy season. Or in the northern, we start spring, early spring. The buds start break, like in New Jersey, New York area right now. We are seeing, yeah, my maple trees just started open buds. My bees started getting the pollen last week. It was frozen, but I don't know where they got it. But actually, many of my bees got some pollen back. They are very smart. They know where to looking for. So the timing we don't varies depends on the location, but we base the timing on the plants. And the concentration, this is the spray concentration. So each tank, if assume you have 20 liters tank, and we will put how much NOPF each tank. We discussed that before we how to make dilution, make the spray solution, like put a quarter of the tank, put in the water first, then add this 10 ml or 20 ml or even 30 ml into the tank, shake well, make them mix well, then add rest of the water to be uniformly mixed. We don't want to mix, we don't want to lose any expensive fertilizer. So this is a thing. So we spray concentration is NOPF ml to water, like 20 liters. If you 10 liters, you cut a half. So it depends on, this is just example. You can calculate it proportionally. depends on what your size, tank size. So then the mature trees, basically they have flower, they have fruits. When they have flower fruits, we can apply not by each month. Here 1 month after planting, this is the first year. Second year, this will be not right. So this will be changed. It should be 1 month after last spray. So this 2 months after the first spray, 3 months after first spray, not after planting. If the first year, 1 year old plants, you can say 1 year, how many months after planting, but it's not always true. For the mature trees, we have different situation. We have beginning of the growing season. So I don't know which month you are started your growing season. So it depends on your location. And then this is after 1 month after planting, that's long too. So 1 month after, yeah, I didn't see that mistake. Because when I put in the draft, they didn't have planting, only have 1 month after. And we're going into the printer office, editing office, they have some automatically show up something. So this is why the draft. Then we have each, if we pick all the time, we each major picking or harvesting, we start. We don't do before picking, we do after picking. So then this is basically, this is all the multi-year crop like coffee or some avocado or something. This is a similar situation. Or they have for young trees and mature trees. So this is a draft. And you guys can look at to see if you can, any suggestion before we planting. So to see if we can use it. Any recommendations?
Distributors, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be the leaflets you're going to receive soon. Now it is still in designing and revising stage, so please check it out to see whether the information is clear to you. So if you find this is okay, then within 1 or 2 days, we're going to send the e-format to your general managers for printing.
Do right now. Read it to see if anything, because I don't know
You check it out.
Yeah, I don't know how fast they will put into the print, and after the print it will be too late. To see if you like this format or information is good enough.
So here we listed 11 main crops in Africa. We tell you when to spray the NOPF and the concentration you're going to use. So we hope that this is going to help you and help your farmers. Okay, thank you.
Easy.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you.
Okay, so
Do we have
see something?
Yeah, do we have any more feedback? All right.
I see one chat.
Yeah, I think
Thank you. So it's not that bad. My first draft was terrible. And I kind of like too brief.
Good morning, doctor. Sorry.
Morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. Okay, you are the person
you.
I want you to lead to see if you have any change needed. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes, 10 couple of minutes. You have to lead it. Before you put in the print, it may be too late.
Professor has listed 11 main crops in Africa. In this table, those tables are going to tell you when to use the NOPF and the concentration. So I think this is simple and clear.
Dr. Book is okay?
I'm trying to see whether I can have a screenshot so that I can revise on it sometimes later. But most of the crops that are found in Africa, they are found here. Let me see whether you have put bananas.
Any missing, I will add, we do more later. So this is first only have this 11 or 12 or 1, 10.
Well, I cannot see banana.
No.
Oh.
This is based on the survey. I think I don't know which office did a survey. So I will add it. Okay, you want a banana.
Yes.
Yeah,
Also,
I will.
We also need to include something like beans.
Okay.
We have more beans here.
This is the first. I will add more next kind of newsletter, whatever. But
Yes,
I will take all the.
Professor, we may also require to have it as potatoes, especially Irish potatoes.
Irish potato.
And the wheat, yes, wheat also.
Wheat is there, potato is there.
Oh, your wheat is there. No,
Yeah.
sweet potato. I mean, Irish potatoes not there.
Okay. Anyone have a suggestion? I make a notes. I will continue to be added to the list. In US, we have federal government. We only do recommendation for the major crops, and all the small crops, they have universities do the funding, do the research program, and they give you university professors to do the small crops. So like a blueberry, strawberry, all kinds of little ones. Government don't have money, they don't care. So these are the bigger ones. They don't do small ones. So what we do is we do them after we had a survey. We thought, okay, this is top list of the crops we do first. Then we later on we do the small crops. Okay. Some format issues too, and some so if not too much change, I will give feedback to Dr. Li, and I don't have direct contact with the printing officer, so they will, if any make changes, only today, tomorrow, and I think they will put into the print very soon. Okay. Last time my notes said some people need to see the cassava. How do we use the cassava? Okay, actually I have this on this phone. Okay, let me see. Can you see my PowerPoint slide?
Not yet.
Okay, this is a cassava. Like actually we talked to the another group we are about to talk about this morning. When we do the fertilizer, we are like doctors, medical doctors. We need to now understanding our fertilizer, need understanding the soil, need understanding our crop. We have to understand all these three major elements. during 40, 50 years ago or 60 years ago, I don't remember.
Excuse
Oh,
me. Excuse me, Professor, we can't see the slide. We only
okay.
see the leaflet.
Oh, I need to stop share and share again. Hold on.
Oh yeah, yes, please.
Better?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
We used to have, I'm talking about only 3 elements, the crops and the soil and fertilizer. Actually, only in the early 60 or 70 years ago, we have Chairman Mao. He had says we should have understand 8 elements. So it's soil, water, fertilizer, planting, cultivation, something, plant protection, something 8 total. So basically, agriculture is a system control. It's we should have for the pest control. We have one of the program called integrated pest management. For the fertilizer, for the soil scientists, we still need use systematic method ideas to understand the whole system. When you understand the whole system, then when you give any recommendation, this is basically use your basic science to support to your recommendation. We need to understand the soil, the fertility, water, moisture, pH, even pathogens or residues in the soil, and irrigation. This all need to put into the consideration. For the fertilizer, we need to look at what fertilizer you are working with. You're working with organic amino acids, majorly organic amino acids fertilizer with trace elements, or you only work with amino acids liquid fertilizer, or you work with other organic fertilizer, or you work with the conventional chemical fertilizer. So every fertilizer, different variety, different species are different. So when you understand that, and then you will know what are the pros and the cons. So what's the benefit? For the conventional fertilizer, it's very simple. NPK, not too much other stuff. And then nitrogen, it's easy, water soluble. The potassium and the phosphate, not a lot of time not immediately available for plant to use. It's not a water soluble right away. So we need, you understand that, so you know you need to put your NPK, especially PNK, into the soil. Let the soil work on it. Not only soil in the microorganism in the soil, they will work on it. So make it all the potassium, phosphorus, or even calcium if you need it. Some places need pH too low, you need to add a lot of calcium limestone to increase your pH. So worker to make it available. So that's why we need to put P and K is always put in the base fertilizer before planting. Will cover it. They don't go away too much, but if you don't cover the nitrogen part, it will be evaporated. You lost the nitrogen. I don't know where the nitrogen comes from in the air. In the air, atmosphere, we have maybe more than 50% or even 70% of the air are nitrogen. We just cannot use it. It's in the air. So we don't want to open make this nitrogen open on the top of the soil, and you lose it because you will be gone. That's why we need to cover it. Well, after cover it, then you will be after adding water came in and make it water soluble. It's available for microorganisms or roots to take. So you understand it's soil fertilizer. And our fertilizer is the same organic amino acids fertilizer. Our fertilizer is coming from natural production. It's from plants and animal material. So you have not only amino acids, you have a bunch, almost everything a plant needs. So you have amino acids is major, and have all these trace elements, a very long list. Kind of like you have everything. Some amino acids fertilizer from other companies, they may not come from the real plant and animal material. They may come from side production from other industry. So they may only have amino acids. They may don't have trace elements. So that's when you know you have complete, then you can. The difference from the complete or incomplete organic fertilizer is when you use complete organic fertilizer, you will have basically everything plant needed during the entire growing season, including vegetative growing season and reproductive season. In the vegetative season, you need a lot of nitrogen, some potassium, calcium, not too much. In the flowering season, they will need a lot of phosphate. When the fruiting season, you need a lot of calcium and POP and B and other elements. So we have enough, almost complete list of the nutrients in our NOPF. But if we from some other company, not from the organic producer, from industry side products, byproducts, not side, byproducts, then you don't have that. You only have amino acids. So it's like they are chemical fertilizer. They are very clean. So, and if they only have that, you only use in the early season. Your late season, you don't use too much. So this is a fertilizer issue. And then we need to understand your plants. This is your cassava. I don't know if I pronounce it right. Other day, one of my post lady, she always drop off my mails every day, and she said, I saw you have a plant that have some red fruits on it. So what it is, I told her what I have. We discussed it several minutes. She didn't understand my Chinese English. So my pronunciation is my guess, not necessarily right. So we will, when you do this, start from cutting. In the early stage, this is the first 90 days. Like this cassava, I don't know if it's cassava, but this is growing between 12 months or 24 months, or I don't know which location is different. Either way, we have kind of like a cut timing. So if you cut a timing, something here, oh, it didn't work. From here on the left is all the vegetative growing. Even we are not harvesting the fruits and the flower, we harvesting these roots. It's kind of like storage place, storage like fruits. in the sense of the nutritional movement. So in the earlier part, we only move the objective of the planting, cultivation, or management for the crop is let these leaves growing very large. The purpose of growing the leaves very large is accumulate enough photosynthesis, accumulate enough nutrients. All these nutrients, photosynthesis products, is not for leaf, it's actually for the future to move the nutrients from the leaf to the roots. So objective is if finally we want a bigger roots, we don't want to find a kind of big leaf. But in the earlier part, we need a big leaf. We will know big leaf in the future is no big roots. Only thing is the timing. If you get it in the later season, if the roots are too big, it's too much, you may misleading the plants. They may actually have less roots. So you put a fertilizer, heavy fertilizer in the early season, but don't go to the later season. If you get it too late, or will be not good, very good. So you will be very careful. It's a lot of crops have the same issue. Like some fruits, citrus trees, or other trees in the tropical area. If you give fertilizer, nitrogen-based fertilizer too much, too continue, and past the critical time, plant they got a misleading information. They said, "Oh, I'm still doing the vegetative growth." So that's why when I have this. The little pamphlets is I give you timing. It's not like in the past that we say, okay, you spray it every 2 weeks, but this is the general idea. You spray every 2 weeks, but you don't need to spray every 2 weeks for each 12 months. Then how many spray you have? You have twice a month, it will be 24 spray. That's too much. When you get that part, your leaf is huge, and then the plants totally forget what they need. So but entire growth season, we only can spray 4 to 5 totally times, not much more. This is take a consideration of you get enough base fertilizer in the soil before you plant. Our NOPF is side dressing, top dressing fertilizer. Make your plants growing much better. But your soil, before planting, the fertilizer in the soil or nutrients in the soil is very important. You have to put a lot of organic material, compost, or green manure, a lot of stuff before you plant in the soil. If you're a large farm, you have 3,000 hectares, you don't have so much green manure. You have so much green manure, but you don't have a lot of compost, animal manure. Then you have to use balanced NPK, conventional fertilizer, into the soil. You may need to put a little bit less nitrogen, put a lot more P and K in the soil, put into before you plant. So this is put in the soil. One of the issues is you need water. If you don't have water, fertilizer in the soil, they sit there. You cannot get it. It only become water soluble. The roots can take it. When we spray our NOPF on leaf, they are water soluble. They are in the water. is available immediately for plants. So this is also the benefits for liquid foliar spray. So that's the thing with for the cassava, we make sure we only work like after the transplanting, not after cutting, you have the leaves come out. Even though leaves not come out, you don't spray. When the leaves come out, you at least have enough leaves to take to receive your spray. Then you can spray once a month or something, make it a total like 4 or 5 sprays. And then you can, like 3 months later, you should stop. Then let them, but always make enough water, always. The water is the entire season needed. The fertilizer, it have timing for each crop is different. If your crop is vegetative, you only need to harvest the leaves. It's not harvesting the fruits and the roots. You can use fertilizer, nitrogen-based or NOPF entire growing season. But some like tea or tobacco, you don't need it. You cannot over-fertilize. If you over-fertilize, sometimes the taste of the leaf will be changed. That's why we have a new variety of the NOPF specifically target this leaf consumption crops like tobacco and teas. So then you can spray it more. If you use the older version of the NOPF, if we spray on the tea and the tobacco, don't go to high concentration. Go to normal concentration, like 1 ml per liter or 1 ml, cut half. If you spray more times, you can cut half the rate. But it's normal, not to go to high concentration. For the newer variety of the NOPF, it'd be much better condition for the tea and the tobacco usage of the crops. So this is what we have for the cassava. And actually, I don't know how I can plant here. I never see a plant near me. So this is my 2 second to what to say. My understanding. So anyone have questions on this, we can discuss. Dr. Mbugo, you have more experience on that.
Yeah, I want to ask a question on the vegetables. When
Okay.
do you stop the vegetables?
Which vegetable?
Cabbage and also watermelon and tomato. When do you stop spraying?
Tomatoes, we harvest the fruits. And cabbages, we harvest the leaves. So when you harvest the leaves, you can spray every week. You can spray anytime if you want, because they promote a lot of leaves. They keep growing, is not stop. But you should stop at least several weeks before you can eat it. Harvest. If you become when you plant, take the nutrients, they need to use it. So take another week to use them all. For the normal conventional fertilizer, take more than 7 days after you apply the fertilizer to the plants. For our NOPF, they take 2 to 3 days. They will go into the plants. Then you will make maximum use of the fertilizer. When the fertilizer finishes, and then you can harvest your vegetables, the cabbage stuff. So you may stop 2 weeks before you take your vegetables, but it's safe. You can spray yesterday, or you can spray today. You harvest your vegetables, you eat it, because it's not a chemical structure. It's a naturally fertile nutrients. So you can just wash them off, and you can eat it. So it's safe. For the tomatoes, hold on. Where's my tomatoes? Do I have to share? I have to share again. Hold on. Share again. Okay, this is the tomato. The tomatoes, you should spray. Some people spray more than 4 times, but I don't think we spray a lot of that. So when you apply the fertilizer first time, you at least, it's almost all crops. You spray when the plants, they back to life. When you transplant it, plants take several days to recover. But this is a lot of stuff like rice, all vegetable seedlings. If you use seedlings, if you transplant, so you don't spray immediately before transplant. You can spray light half concentration a week before you transplant in the seedling beds. So when you do the seedlings, you can start a spray like a week before you. I'm going to transplant the next week. Then you spray once a week, or 1 week before. This way they have enough. Give them you're going to running. Let you have a pizza. When you have pizza, you're running faster. You're running like you don't feel hungry. So before you transplanting, a week before you should spray. Let them make it a bit not starving. Then you transplant. You wait a week. Let the tomato seedlings come back, recover. You see, okay, now it's like a normal. They stay strong. Then you start to spray. You can start spray once, or after 2 weeks, another 2 weeks you spray again. Basically, when you see the first flower, it started flowering, you spray, make sure you spray again. Then several weeks later, you spray again. So mostly we want to spray in the early season before flower. But after flower, we have some trace elements. And also this tomato is different from other crops. They are kind of continue flowering, continue harvest. So you can kind of continue spray. So then if you don't need to spray too much all the time. So if you about over a month later after you start in flower, you should stop. Because we always think the plants, when they take the fertilizer, they can use this fertilizer for another couple of weeks. Then you will finish your crop. So you don't need to spray to the last minute of the plants, because you're going to pull them out next week. You still spray. No, you don't need to spray. So you will spray much earlier. Stop spray much earlier before you finish your growing season. Okay, I see some message in there. To watch vegetable, spinach and the beans. Cool. The spinach is like a cabbage. We want the leaves, so we can spray all the time. You don't need to spray too much your money. Always make it the most efficient. You put $1 in it, you want to get $10 back. You don't want to put the money back and not worth that much. So you always the optimum spray frequency and spray concentration is not necessarily for you like okay, this is the fertilizer, always good. I put a lot in it. Plants only can use that much. If we put too much, it's you waste it. So for the beans itself, they are enriching the soil. So beans is before you can spray before flowering, and after you see the flowering is if you harvest have a big harvest and stop, then you should stop when you see the flower. You should stop. If some beans continue like tomatoes, and you can spray a couple of times after you see the flower, and you should be stopped because some beans, the roots is so long, so large, they can take a lot of nutrients from the soil. Some beans, the roots is like so long, so they are very good to take nutrients, take water from the soil, and also some beans like soybeans, they actually can fix nitrogen from the air. I don't know. I never done this. How do I inoculate beans with bacteria? Dr. Li's lab, the lab she used to work with, they are the specialists to introduce bacteria to the soybeans. The soybeans naturally they have the ability to fix. They have called symbiotic. They live with bacteria, benefit each other. Bacteria help the plants, plants help the bacteria. And the bacteria in the roots, in the soybeans, and they can fix nitrogen from air, and they can use that. Is it only the soybeans only use, not only them fix the nitrogen for themselves, they actually fix the nitrogen, save them in the soil for the next crop. So beans are considering like green manure. The plants, the crops should supposed to alternate each season. If this season I can plant maize or corn, next season I should plant soybeans because they have nutrients. They enrich the soil. They make soil better. A lot of plants, they take nutrients. They don't give any nutrients back to soil, but the beans don't. So beans are not. It's a good candidate for the alternation of the crops. Let me see what other. Those are the grows underground like potato. The potatoes and the carrots. I have a potato here. Oh, no. Okay, so can you see my picture? The potatoes. Potatoes are like we talk about the cassava. Potatoes are we harvesting the so-called roots. They are not the roots. They are stem. They're stem tubers. So they are vegetative growth, but they also have the potato also have flower. So what we do in the earlier season, we encourage spray in the seedlings like 10 meters, like this size, then you should start spray. Don't spray when the plant's too small. Especially the potatoes, they have the nutrients from your tube, from seeds for a while. The potato seeds, they have a lot of nutrients in the potato itself. So the seedlings, the new germination, they can use that fertilizer for a while. Not the fertilizer, they can use these nutrients from the potato. The thing is, when you cut the potato, after cut it, you should let them dry a little bit, or put some ash onto the potato cut. This make the potato cut in place sealed or dry. This way we can reduce a lot of decay or rotting, because if you cut it, it's wet, you put in immediately put in soil, the bad organism or bacteria or something, or some worms, anything that will get into your seeds and destroy your potato seeds. But it's you should, after cut it, let them dry a little bit. Air dry. If you mix something with your ash, or actually some people treated these potato seeds with insecticides. When I was in graduate school, almost a quarter to half of the entomologists in US are working with the potato. The potato, when that time we have a bigger pest called a potato beetle. It's like a ladybug beetle. That beetle, they provide so many jobs for the US agriculture scientists, because it's very hard to control them. They always have a problem. Then the government give a lot of money, and the farmers also give a lot of money to the agriculture professors. And we all get the money from that and to control this potato beetle. But 1 year, suddenly all the potato beetles disappeared, because they treated the potato seeds with the newly developed insecticides. That normally the insecticides only can last a week, but that insecticides can last almost 2 months, a month or 2 months. So when the seeds, they treated the seeds with the pesticide, insecticides, and the insecticides get into the plants like GMO. So the potato beetles, when they eat on it, they'll die. So no potato beetles anymore. All basically disappeared. After that, I haven't seen potato beetles for a long time. So, so potato seeds, you can treat it for the insect pests. So one is seedling. That's why we don't, in the early stage, we don't need to give them a lot of fertilizer. Second, and then when you plant, okay, this one is also wrong. The 2 weeks of planting is 2 weeks from first spray. This is when they get in the printer office, they have the typos. So then, even the peak of the blooming time, you can spray. When the a lot of flowers, you can spray a couple of times fertilizer. Then you should stop, because the potato, you also have issue of diseases. When you plant potatoes, you don't want to plant potatoes too close to each other. So between individual plants, you have enough distance, and then you have large distance between each row. So this way, the potato plants coming big. They can come big like 50 centimeters. It's very high. Then you have, if too much leaf, they may start something have disease too. So they have some blight, something fungal diseases on the potato plants. So that one we need to be careful. Also, if you have potato diseases, you also be either spray or change the location next season. Don't want to you put your potato same time. I never had an issue. I didn't plant that. Right now I have like a 10 pounds of potato seeds in my garage. It still cannot plant it. It's too cold. So I plant the potato for fun. I almost never harvest anything. Just see, just look at to play with it. So this is a potato. Let me see what other message. I have 4 more messages. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Professor, thank you. About potatoes, well understood. And I will wish to refer you to something small about the cassava. If you allow me, please.
Yeah.
Now, with cassava now having a long growing period, because even 1 year is quite much.
Yeah.
Well, especially in our area, we have 2 rainy season, and then followed by in between, we have a dry spell. Like now, we are almost going to the rains. We had our last short lanes lasting up to around December. Then from January, February, and half of March, we are experiencing dry period. Now, assume the cassava has been in the field for all that long.
Yeah.
Would we suggest that we have more of spraying when there is enough water so that the plant can use the crop, so that at least instead of having 5 months consecutively, probably during the rainy season, we can apply at the 2 months, and then maybe we leave it, and the other rainy season, we move on, and in between, we can spray maybe once. What's your suggestion?
Because I never grew up in the rainy dry season place. I don't know how do you handle this when the dry season? How do you handle this for the crops in the dry season?
Annual crop like coffee, tea, we have the flowering and also, I mean, the growing season. Like coffee has 2 seasons, just following the normal rain regime. And but we are talking of crop that this cassava, which is unique in the sense that it cut across the 2 growing seasons. But
That's
most
right.
of the crop that we normally plant, either the annual crop has, during the dry season, there's no production. When the rains start, again, the production come in. And since this one is cutting across, let me the whole year, what I've seen, I also grow some little cassava, but for domestic use only. But I've seen that when we take, when the plant is ready for growth, that is when there is enough rains, it use the fertilizer better. And now in between, we can maybe have once, then when the rains come again, we do it twice. Maybe that one I've seen it work very well. But today is also it's a good lesson, I was saying, because many farmers whom I've come across, they have always been planting cassava where their production of other crops is low. But from your training today, I've realized that cassava does not require a lot of nitrogen, more of potassium and phosphorus. Maybe that's the
right.
reason. But my suggestion, especially for them that are really growing cassava where you have 2 seasons, maybe you can have more of feeding this plant when the rains are enough. because that is when the plant can grow better, can use this fertilizer. Maybe when the the dry spell come, we can maybe spray once, then when another rains come, we can now continue with the other two. Instead of doing it every month consecutively, maybe you can advise us, I mean, if that's okay, or we can do
I
a
think
change.
I think yes, your idea is a great idea, because if you spray if you add a fertilizer in the dry season, it's not working. But our fertilizer, because you spray, and it should work. It should still, because we provide enough water on the leaf, so leaf can take the nutrients. Let me look at it more, but I think it should work. And like you said, we don't need a lot of nitrogen for the cassava. We need a lot of P and K. So that's why we only spray in the early season when the plants are small. When the plants got large enough, so we don't need a lot. But if we in the dry season, if we use one time, I don't think it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. Because we don't have, technically we don't have issue, because we have water with the NOPF. If we spray on it and the leaf can take it, and also as long as we have don't get a high concentration, they don't have damage on the leaf. But I don't put it in the final word. Let me do some study to find any support. But it's a very good idea to see if because I don't have experience in the dry season. This to me is very interesting. How do you do the dry season? Is the dry season do the irrigation, keep the plants to leaf, or you just let them alone? Hello, you're gone.
No, I'm around.
Okay. So what are other crops during the dry season? What do they do?
Oh,
Do you water them?
well, yes. The other we don't have crop other than cassava. The other crop normally have during the dry season no production. The plants normally lose a few of leaves to reduce the water loss. And then when the other season comes, like coffee, right now within this dry season, the belly has already formed. But when immediately the onset of rains come, by May, it will have matured and ready for harvest. And then by the time we go to July.
So the dry season, they don't have a lot of leaves. You just leave it alone, like a coffee. We don't need water them.
Yes, that's what normally happens, but there are some people who depend on the natural rains. They don't apply or give water artificially. So that's where now to time when the rains are on and when the rains are less or there's none, then we leave it like that.
Okay, that's good to know. I'm learning. I always got confused when I get the learning season. I don't understand the learning season like in my season, but the dry season like in my winter time maybe. Okay. Thank you so much. And if you any questions, we can discuss next time, or if you let us know what I needed to prepare for next time.
Thank you once again. Thank you, Professor, for giving us such a simplified and professional guideline for the major crops of Africa. And we hope that this list can be enlarged in the future so our farmers in Africa may know how to use the NOPF in different crops. And thank you once again, Dr. Mbogo, for your great contribution. I hope you have received the videos of your visit in the GMP workshop and the exhibition hall. And I hope you find it very useful during your training. And thank you very much for attending today's group discussion. Thank you once again, and we are going to see you after 2 weeks. So if you have any comments about the leaflet, please, you just send it to us. And by the way, we're going to send this to your general manager. Still, we have a chance to make alterations. So thank you very much for your feedback, and so long. 谢谢张教授，感谢您。
谢谢。拜拜。
Have a
Madam Rennie.
yes,
Madam Rennie.
yes, please.
Good afternoon.
Good
This is
afternoon.
Daniel from Ghana.
Daniel, how are you?
Please, I'm fine, thank you, Madam Rennie. Thank you for your good work. Please, can we have the videos and other information about the fertilizer in Ghana?
Sure. We're going to send this to Mr. Bruce Huang and also
how
Mr.
to use
Budiman.
it?
Yes, we're going to
Okay.
send it. And we are working on a
Okay.
video. We are working on a video. Actually, 张教授，我们在想, actually, I have an idea personally that, I want to put this into a video. But it takes long. It takes time. It takes one day for us to, make the graphic design, but it will take us weeks to make it into a video. What I want to do is refine the pictures of the different stages of each plant, and we explain how to use the NOPF, but it will take long. So first of all, we use this pamphlet. This is already okay, but when we have the mega OPP, we do need a good video for the fertilizer. 谢谢张教授. Thank you very much. So thank you once again. We see
You're welcome,
you
Madam
after 2
Rennie.
weeks.
Okay, so
Can
be
I-
expecting it.
Yes,
I
please
have
go
one
ahead.
question. My name
Please.
is Florence.
Madam Florence, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you, good people?
Thank you.
It's for the first time. I'm Florence from South Africa at the Limpopo province, at a very dry area, but I've learned a lot today. I'll also join next time, but I just wanted to request if maybe it's possible that we can get the presentation that we had today, if it's possible. Do we have to send an email or the WhatsApp number?
Madam, all the Friday Zoom meeting and professor's presentation are on YouTube. So you kindly log into YouTube and you search greenworld official. All the videos are there. The Zoom meetings for Friday, for Saturdays, NOPF are all there. So each time we will record this and upload it into YouTube.
Okay. Thank you
All right.
very much. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
clarity.
Thank you,
Have a
ma'am.
blessed
very much.
day.
Thank you, ma'am. Enjoy your weekend. We see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. 谢谢张教授.
From Kenya.
Thank
谢谢，
you.
谢谢。